I can't even wrap my mind around why you thought that was cool.
Is this? You're looking at it, and people are they're trying to give some type of, you know, forgiveness because it's Quentin, not because it's Raja, because it's Quentin. It's Quentin Jackson that is the person that you've got to feel sorry for, okay? In the fact that, you know, he's hooked up in this when he's not the one that took part in this. And that's a sad thing, because he's a father and he loves his son. And it's sad to see someone go through something of this magnitude when it's the last thing in the world you would have told your...
And then they apologize. They apologize. Everything's okay. He's joking. They're streaming. And it was a genuine apology. Yeah, this isn't going to be good. This isn't going to be good for old Raja. Rampage's got money. I mean, they're going to have some good lawyers. But it might be attempted murder. I mean, God, that's the thing. You got to be careful getting in street fights. If you can avoid street fights, avoid them. Especially if you got a temper tantrum. Maybe if you know a little jiu-jitsu and you get in a street fight here and there, it's okay. You can take care of yourself, get in a good position. But once you crack somebody and then you start seeing red and you're not thinking about what you're doing and you're punching them and they're already knocked out, good chance you're going to kill them. And now you might be in the pen. So, I mean, that was fucked up. If that guy was my dad or something, I would be fucking furious. So, hopefully this guy comes out of it all right. They said he came to, and it's not looking good. Raja, who knows what he's doing? I'm sure they're going to come get him soon. It's going to be interesting, but...
Well, let's go ahead and set the stage. So basically he was at this event where he obviously is live streaming his whole life. Basically he's out there live streaming everything he does, just like Quentin is now, but they've, you know, Raja's got his own platform that he's building up and trying to build on. He has an MMA fight. I believe he's 0-1 in MMA, but he also had talked about doing some pro wrestling. Was at this event. He was being recorded. The wrestler, Sicko Stu was thinking that it was Psycho Stu thought that they were being filmed for wrestling. So he grabs a can and smashes it on Raja's head, not realizing that that's his.
It's a setup can too, though.
Yeah,
it
but
doesn't have full pressure.
No, but that was Raja's camera. Yeah. And so it was his setup, it was his editor, producer, it was his camera guy that was filming everything. It wasn't the wrestling organization setting up. Yeah. So, you know, obviously there was a little bit of confrontation, there was a little bit of a breakup, and then Raja Sicko Stu, Psycho Stu comes to him and goes, "Hey man, I'm sorry." They apologize. They hash it out.
Okay. So what does that mean?
That means we should have been able to move on.
MMA legend Rampage Jackson has a son called Raja Jackson, and what I'm about to show you, in my opinion, is blatantly attempted murder, and I believe that Raja Jackson should go to jail for a very long time. I'm not talking about months, I'm not talking about a couple of years, I'm talking 30 to 40 years at least, for what I consider to be blatant attempted murder from Raja Jackson. I think that Raja Jackson...
What actually happened to Stu? How bad are his injuries?
Broken facial bones is from what I'm hearing. Missing teeth. Has no recollection of what happened. Incoherent. And then even from the people closest to it now that I'm disassociating with, they won't even put up the full story. Stu's pretty fucked up. I'll put it this way. What happened yesterday is he choked on his own blood.
On his own teeth, I heard.
Yeah, teeth and blood.
And he lost all of his teeth? Right.
A lot of them, yeah. Broken facial bones. He was out on the slam, and then the guy had made contact multiple times. I remember seeing that, kind of being in shock, and then I just went. Side of that, running in, there was other people that could have got involved that I made eye contact with, but they just stayed by the stage. Let me put it this way. I'm sorry to Stu that the...
Afterwards, by the way, before Raja did this to him, they shook hands and made up. In this clip I'm going to show you as well, I've got everything. This guy, no matter how hard this looks...
Hell no. Yeah.
Hey, I think that's a little...
Oh! It may have hurt as much as a little bouncy ball bouncing off the side of his head. There is no impact on that. He smashed a fake can of drink full of vapor and air on Raja's head. It's a wrestling gimmick. It's like getting hit with a fake glass bottle. Sure, it's mildly inconvenienced, and Raja did not know this was going to happen. So fair, he could get angry about this, in my opinion. There are many, if he would have punched this guy back, need to make that clear. If Raja Jackson would have immediately hit this guy in the face and knocked him out, I would have said self-defense. He don't know that's a prop. He's not involved in this. You can't just assume that he is. That's self-defense. Need to make that clear. If he would have swung back.
Because I guarantee once people realize who his father is, and by father, Quinton Rampage Jackson, the lawsuits are going to start flowing in. Whether it be lawsuits from Stu or lawsuits from other wrestlers, lawsuits from someone in the front row suing from emotional distress. The problems for Raja, they've just begun. Problems that were easily solved if, rather than using him for anything physical, you, same thing, have him slide in and have him get in the way of somebody. Then have another wrestler do whatever physical activity you needed done for that night. Problem solved. Now, all that said, Raja was still 100% in the wrong. You just can't handle situations like that, not only in wrestling, but in civilized society. And I get he was wronged as soon as he got there, but at that moment, he should have either taken himself off the show, out of the environment, or he should have pulled Stu off camera, handled it like men in a back room. And I hate that all of this happened, and it's so easily avoidable. Last I heard, Psycho Stu is in the hospital currently recovering, and we here wish you the speediest of recoveries.
He was unconscious, even though you've trained and you know what that looks like, you dumb animal. Bang! Another shot right on the guy's chin. He's unconscious still. Bang! Another shot on the guy's chin. Bang! Another shot on the guy's chin. Bang! Another shot. Dumb animal! Get in a cage! You dumb cunt! You're 25 years old! Another shot. Another shot. Whiffs. Barely. Bang! Straight on the jaw again. Pushes up. More shots! On an unconscious man. You are a murderer in the process right now. You are attempting murder. You dumb animal, get in a cage. I cannot express that enough. Certain people don't belong in society with us. End of discussion. And he is one of them. This is a dumb animal with no frontal cortex. End of discussion. Whatever that thing is in the front of your brain, if that made me sound even dumber. Whatever that thing is that makes you have reason and logic, this dumb animal don't fucking have it. Another big shot on the chin. Another big...
But let's start from the top. First off, it's the promoter. The promoter, first off, like, look, I understand, get in there, jump in there, get the slam, I get it. But like, if you're a promoter, you need to be standing right there, cage side. You need to be standing, not cage side, ringside. You need to be in there when you have someone who you know is not a professional in any way, shape, or form. He is 0-1 as an MMA fighter. And this is in no way am I taking a dig at him in his career, but I'm simply saying he has no experience as an MMA fighter other than his dad. Being around the sport doesn't mean that you're a good MMA fighter, as it's proven. Like, he's 0-1. So that I put a lot of blame on the promoter, because the promoter should have understood that, look, even though you're Quinton's son, even though sure you have MMA fights, this is pro wrestling. This is different. You need to learn how to work. That's one, which is crazy because I believe the promoter is a former WWE wrestler. He should know that. He should understand that people, not everyone is good at pro wrestling.
I did not see this coming. Not at all.
Well, I mean, I say that's what happens when people are not experienced to our business. And you have to be fully educated. You got to be fully trained. And people think that that's something that's not prevalent. But like when I came into wrestling in 95, 96, I had a lot of the same issues. I didn't like the ribbing. I didn't like the joking. And anybody that talked to me that I didn't think was worthy of having that kind of aggressive conversation, they got that work. And, I don't know the full story, but I do know what I saw. And it looked like he wasn't smart to what was going on. And the dude that was messing with him bit off more than he can chew. And, You got to be careful, one, who you mess with, and two, like, what kind of example are you as a veteran for inciting a ride with a kid?
Yeah, I mean,
That's
hey, Mark making his opinion clear. I love Mark. Mark and I see eye to eye on so many things. We don't see eye to eye on all of this. I do agree with him, though. You do have to, and we talked about this yesterday, you have to be really, really careful with bringing outsiders into the business. It's easy for them to get carried away and get caught up in the moment. When someone is allowing you to pick them up, to body slam them, to hit them, maybe that's a clothesline or something like that. When it's an outsider, you have to expect that, they're not properly trained and that those shots are going to feel a little bit more live, which is why I don't condemn this guy for the slam. Maybe he got carried away and maybe he put a little bit extra on that.
Agreed.
The 24 punches to the face of an unconscious man when you're a trained MMA fighter, that's inexcusable. I mean, there is no profession out there that just allows attempted murder like this, because that's the way I look at this. When you see that the guy is unconscious and you're throwing that many blows like that, you are trying to kill somebody with that. And there's consequences for that.
Dog gotta go to prison. I usually don't like to involve myself in other men's situations, but I feel I'm qualified to speak on this. And dog messed up. And if it's Rampage, I love Rampage. But Rampage, turn your son in. He got to go lay down for a little bit. Like, if it was my son, that's what I would tell him. I mean, you a grown man, bro. You can't condone that type of behavior, bro. You got to go lay down for a little bit. We'll get you a good lawyer. You ain't going to be in there forever. But you got to go lay down. I get it. He hit you in the head with a bottle beforehand. I get it. He shouldn't have did that. I don't condone that either. But to wait hours until the man was working, which we all understand, he playing a character and he was in character and he working, and then you sneak him, because that's what you did. I mean, you snuck him. He wasn't expecting that. And you bro, they say dude flatlined and was unconscious for 6 minutes afterwards. Dog gotta go lay down. You gotta go to prison, bro. There's no part of that you thought was cool. Like, I can't even wrap my mind around why you thought that was cool and why you ain't got no self-control over your emotions. I get it, you and your feelings. You probably was watching them work and just getting madder and madder. But bro, you can't have that in no civilized society. Like, we all understand what pro wrestling is, don't we? We've been understanding that since we was like 19 years old. That ain't the time or the place. Especially not when all the cameras, like, bro, you don't give a fuck, huh? You just doing whatever you want to do. You gotta go lay down, bro. I'm sorry, I love Rampage. And I hate that you're in a situation with your son, but you gotta talk to him. He gotta be a real man. He gotta stand up on that. And he go.